And we're live.
Yo, what's up, guys? Performance Academy with your co-host Zach Rowe
and Josh.
All right, what's up, guys? Episode 3. Like a week late. We keep saying we're gonna do 2 weeks, but it kind of turns into 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, everything's crazy right now. So
yeah, you know,
it's not like the world's back to normal or anything yet.
Not quite, unfortunately, like we were expecting. But that's all right. We'll figure it out. So yeah, we're back at it. So we'll just talk about our fitness-related stuff, like we do, and then we have one fitness topic that we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about like different training seasons, kind of like we talked about last week, because I like that topic to talk about, and then just current events. You want to start off with the fitness?
Oh, we're doing right now?
Yeah.
I forget if on the last one I said I was switching back to like a hypertrophy program or not, or if I was still planning on doing my jiu-jitsu performance training. I forget if I...
You were a little fried last time. You were kind of not super into the training. You were like...
I'm trying to remember what was going on at the time. Like
you were kind of lacking a little bit of motivation, maybe.
It's probably because
you weren't really feeling it with the training. I remember you said like you got like 10-15 minutes in a training session or something. Like,
that was towards the end of like the hypertrophy. Like that, I think that's when I was still trying to gain weight that first time around. And I was doing that hypertrophy mesocycle.
That was the last I remember you talking about.
Yeah, I think
training,
just overtraining, and like so now I've kind of dialed back. I'm doing another hypertrophy block since my jiu-jitsu gym not only is it not open, but got burnt down in the riots, so I can't even train. So what's the point of doing jiu-jitsu specific training if I can't even train officially?
Yeah. Because I know they were trying to change locations. Is there any news on that?
They're looking at a couple locations, but nothing, like it's not open yet, so I haven't heard too much, but we're trying to get it open. So I decided, well, I might as well go back on like a hypertrophy training cycle, try to gain some more weight, and just roll with that again. And then I cut back how many times I lift to like 4 days per week, because I feel like beforehand, while I liked it and it gave me something to do, I was just training too much.
Like 6 days a week?
Yeah, 6 days a week, and I was being productive, but I feel like they'll help me like cut down my energy expenditure, because like I don't have that much like fat. Like I'm like skin and bones, and then some muscle, and muscle takes more calories at maintenance to maintain. So I feel like if I'm being active 6 days per week, then I'm just increasing my energy expenditure unnecessarily when I could just get in, do my 4 days of work, maintain some muscle groups, and then try to build a few others while increasing my calories. And I'm hoping to get some progress like that.
Interesting. How long you been doing that?
I'm probably back on my 3rd week right now, and I've gained a little bit. Some of it might just be I got back on some creatine, so it might be a little bit water weight too. But my as far as nutrition, like I'm using like Renaissance Periodization, their app, and
how's that going?
Since I'm only 3 weeks in, like I haven't really been gaining at the rate that they want me to, and that's probably just because as it calculates my macros and everything and how much I'm gaining, whatnot. It's just kind of like calibrating to my body. It's kind of gaining. So it's adjusting the macros and the calories as needed, increasing it. So I do make the progress I need to. So
are you able to keep up with the food requirements that they're expecting of you? Because I know before that was a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, right now it's okay because I'm not at like as many calories as I was at the end of my last hypertrophy block, where I was eating like 4,500 calories a day on like
that's so ridiculous.
On a day when I would lift. When I wouldn't work out, I'd probably still eat something around like probably at least 3,500 or 3,800, something like that.
Yeah.
But so now I just finished their book, Renaissance Periodization. Is that the title of it? But their nutrition book, whatnot.
Yeah.
And then so like I'm just gonna start including more like I guess you would say like kind of like junk food, just to help hit my daily calorie requirements. Still eating like 75 or 80% healthy.
But V-Shred says you gotta eat your vegetables.
Yeah, V-Shred's an idiot. Because what I wasn't hitting was my daily caloric needs, which is most important for putting on weight. So primarily most of my food comes from healthy, good sources, whatnot. Then I'm going to include some junk food that's a little bit less. It's higher in fat, it's higher in calories, and it's a little bit less, I guess, a little bit less satiating. Like you can eat a lot more of it. Like that's the problem with junk food, that you can eat a lot of it before like you actually get full.
Yeah, more processed.
Yeah. So I'm going to use that to my benefit a little bit, like 20% or so maybe, to help hit that calorie limit, like I said. And I think that with only working out 4 days per week, whatnot, like it should be a little bit better or easier to hit my goals this time. Because now I knew what didn't happen or what stopped me last time from hitting my goals, and so like now I just kind of recalibrated and I'm ready to go back at it again. So that's what I'm focusing on.
So I picked up on something. You said that your total calorie intake is the most important. You don't think like your protein intake and like your nitrogen levels are quite as important?
No, Dr. Mike and Wrestling Periodization, they say that like when it comes to like body composition and whatnot, it's like 50% or like it's like say like 50% is calories in, calories out, so calories, and then another 30% is like the macronutrients and whatnot. So while macronutrients are like really important, it's like at the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. That's probably take up really the majority of it. Because if you're eating like you're not overly eating fat and you're hitting your carbs and protein, but you're not consuming enough of them, and I'm not going to see the results I need because I need to have more calories than I'm burning. So
Sure.
And if that's like that's 80% right there. So he was arguing if you can't do all the other small stuff like nutrient timing and like supplementation, some of the other stuff that gets a little bit more nitpicky, that's okay. Because generally, if you can do 80%, this is kind of a rule. If you can do 80% of like what's necessary, you could probably get most of like the gains or the benefits that you're going to get. And it's just at like higher levels or whatnot when like that last 20% becomes very important for like performance or like high level athletes and stuff whatnot.
So you said 80% and 50% of that you said is your total calorie intake.
Total calories.
And then your 30% of your results are from your
macronutrients
distribution. Interesting. That's very interesting because when I took fitness nutrition or whatever the fuck it's called at CSULB, Alan Cart was that the most important thing with building muscle and putting on weight is your nitrogen levels, which you get from protein. And, this is like a little bit of bro science, things you hear in the gym, but like, where was I going?
Nitrates?
No, fuck, what was I saying?
Macronutrient levels? Macronutrient
What the fuck was I saying? I don't even know.
Oh no, I didn't take the class.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that. But that you can't. A big thing is like, when you you can't build muscle and also like lose weight at the same time because you have to be in a caloric surplus.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Caloric surplus, and that way, you're building muscle, but you're also, your surplus, you're building weight, and it's someone that's going to be fat,
Yeah.
But she was a firm believer, if your calorie intake is at a deficit, but you're keeping your nitrogen levels high with your protein intake, that you could do both, is how she was talking about it, which kind of contradicts what Israel tells.
No,
I wouldn't say it contradicts, but it's, I don't know how to say it.
What? They focus on like the rate of gain that you're getting is like they're trying to build like I guess in my like I'm trying to gain weight is they're trying to build muscle like adding the least amount of fat, and then when they're trying to like lose weight they're trying to lose predominantly fat with the least amount of muscle loss as well. And so he kind of talks about like that in the books and the lectures.
Does he ever talk about nitrogen levels or anything like that with protein intake?
It doesn't stand out, like that doesn't jump off the top of my head that he necessarily did.
How does he determine like protein intake? Or does he not really concern himself with that? He
does, but it's mostly like dependent on like your activity levels, like what type of sport you do, endurance, strength, this or that. But for the most part, like it still holds it like the rough number still is like easy to go with is the 1 gram per pound of body weight.
That's what I was getting to.
But depending on like the sport, like some endurance athletes could be like I don't know, there's like 0.7 to like 1.5 as far as 2 grams per pound of protein. It's usually within that range, depending on the sport or the needs of the individual. But still within that range, the easiest, he said, is just the old 1 gram per pound of body weight.
All right. So, interesting.
I mean, the book's really detailed and really good, so I'd recommend.
Hey, I'm gonna need that book soon too.
Yeah, I finished it, so you can read it.
I'll be honest. I kind of like I told you, I read the first few chapters of the whatchamacallit, and then I haven't really listened or read much of it.
It's kind of hard because it's a textbook.
Yeah, and I'm just not in the mood. Sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm just like, I could give less of a fuck.
I feel that way too.
I'm going through like ebbs and flows where I'm like 2-3 days I'm in it, and I'm like, I'm killing it, and I'm on top of things, and then I'll have another 2, 3, 4 days where I'm just like,
Yeah, did I tell you about that Brad Schoenfield book that I got?
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Which
I
one
just
was that?
it's just his new hypertrophy.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. He's
yeah.
like the go-to guy.
He's like the go-to guy in exercise
Yep.
science and research for hypertrophy and whatnot. And like I just like kind of skimmed it real quick and I read like a chapter or something like that. But I read his intro and whatnot, and like I was going through and I was like, damn, this thing's dense. Like this is solid information, but this is dense. You know, this is gonna challenge me. And like in the
Was
intro,
it a textbook?
it's kind of like a textbook. In the intro, he says like this is kind of like there's stuff in here that you can get, but like a lot of this is written for like a master's student in kinesiology.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like I'm gonna appreciate that. I'm gonna like it, but I was like, this is gonna be pretty.
It's gonna take a
thorough.
minute to get through.
Yeah, but it's really good stuff still.
Yeah.
You know. So, but yeah, that's that type of reading where it's kind of like it can be a little bit, you know, mundane or tedious.
Yeah, that gets tough for me. But okay. And then another thing, you said creatine. You're back on the creatine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you normally cycle your creatine? Kind of.
I don't cycle for the sake of cycling. I guess cycle just because my lifting program I stopped my scheduled resistance training program, and so I just stopped taking it. You know, it's not any rhyme or reason per se, but like when I get back on a structured like where I'm trying to like, you know, build muscle, then I'll probably start taking creatine again just to help my output when I'm lifting. You know.
Sure.
So.
How much you taking?
I think it's 5 grams or so.
5 grams total?
Huh?
5 grams total?
I mean, per day.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you need like 3 to 5 grams or so to keep your phosphocreatine stores topped off.
We talked about. Fuck, I don't have it. We talked about that in nutrition too.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the recommended amount was off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think it's 3 to 5 grams per day. But then like when you're like starting back on it, like the first week you can like load or like you take 25 grams per day or something like that. Because if you don't, then it can take like longer to get like I don't know the exact physiology behind it, but yeah, you can when you first start taking it, you can load on it and take like 25 grams a day.
I have a funny story about creatine. I don't personally take it. I probably should, but I'm just like I just get lazy with like supplements, and you know I'd consider that a supplement.
Yeah, it is.
So I just get lazy with those and just vitamins or whatever. But I have a funny story. So I started an internship at the Honda Center in Torrance, and so I'm literally just taking temperatures. It's such a bullshit job, but whatever. But it was my first day, probably about a couple weeks ago, and I got stuck with this one guy. He's just a little bit bigger guy, Mexican, and we're talking like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be here working at the gym, but it's closed obviously because of COVID. So I'm here doing this. And then he figures out I'm a trainer, and he just starts asking me hella questions, you know how people do. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to drop some weight, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing for that? And he tells me all this stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm also taking creatine. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why? He's like doing all this cardio, whatever, and like, or no, he's not even doing cardio actually. He's just doing like. He says like high intensity lifting. He's doing like a bunch of bicep curls, you know, and he's taking a bunch of creatine. And I'm just like, well, I mean,
does he understand why he's taking creatine?
No, I explained it what it does, and I was like, if you're trying to drop weight and you're taking all this creatine, it doesn't make any sense because you're just probably retaining so much water weight. And
it's not that that's bad. It's not like it's fat, but still. Like
but it's not bad.
But it would benefit, like, if he had, like, a structured lifting program and cardio, it would benefit his lifting program, you know? Yeah,
but it's not even a good lifting program, and he's doing, like, zero cardio.
Yeah. High-intensity bicep curls.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, people are really out here taking shit, and they don't even know what it does.
Yeah, I wonder, like, who told him, oh, you gotta take this creatine, bro.
You know, it's probably just...
This will get you in shape.
Like a cousin or some shit, you know?
Yeah. But, like, on that note, like, I forgot to mention, like, part of this, right now, like, I'm also taking, like, casein. As well, as in addition to like whey, and I use that at night just to help me hit my protein requirements easily more.
Explain casein, how it works, and it's
just
different than whey.
It's like a slow digesting protein, so like it's good for like long periods, like when you're fasting or like overnight, obviously, because then so this is where I get lost in the physiology, but because it's slow digesting, then like the supply is.
It leaks out for like a longer period of time.
I guess leaks out works. Yeah, I was trying to figure out like
not leaks. That's not proper.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the right word, but I mean leaks essentially. Yeah.
So yeah, the whey is primarily from like milk proteins, and your body absorbs that a lot faster.
Quicker. Yeah.
Especially if you take some carbohydrates with it too. It really increases the rate of absorption, which is, there's benefits to that. But yeah, casein is something, you normally take like later in the day, like before you go to bed. And it's nice too because, most of your recovery in your body happens while you're sleeping.
Yeah. It's pretty satiating too, which is another thing I like about it. I have a glass of milk and like throw some whatever in there.
Yeah, so that's good too. That'll like, if that'll help maybe like reduce cravings at night if you have a tendency to kind of snack at night, which I know I do. Voice crack. So yeah, casein's cool. I remember, I think I told you this story. I didn't really understand what casein was. This was before I really got deep into kinesiology, and I was gonna go get it at like a Sprouts or like Whole Foods, some like bougie kind of place. And there was a guy just standing there, and I was like asking about it. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "It's really not good for your digestive system, this, that, and the other." And he was just saying a bunch of bullshit he probably didn't know. At this time, I didn't know like those type of people, like GNC type people, have no certifications or any kind of educational background in supplementation, And so for the longest time, I was just like, "Oh yeah, I don't think casein's really good for you." I just took his word for it. I was just like shit on casein for like no reason. Which yeah, it's kind of silly, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a convenience factor for me. It's not like a magic ingredient, but as far as like hitting my macros and my protein for the day and whatnot, it definitely is going to help, especially as I need to consume more calories as I progress.
Does it taste better?
Yeah, I'm not the taste. I mean, a lot of my protein shakes have been tasting kind of like whatever for years. So
yeah,
I just drink it for what it is. I don't drink it for flavor.
For sure. I got some Beachbody protein from their performance line or whatever. Best tasting protein powder I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Like you know me, when I drink protein, I have to plug my nose, or I'll just yak. Like I can't stand the taste or the smell of like chocolate protein, or the chocolate's the most bearable one for me. Any like vanilla, oh, forget about it.
That's weird. I usually prefer vanilla.
Peanut butter, forget about it.
Oh, yeah,
Chocolate's the most bearable for me. I still have to plug my nose. It's real nice because like it's so weird how you just literally can't taste anything if you can't smell it.
Well, yeah, because isn't fucking taste like 80% smell?
Yeah.
It's like people who like lose their sense of smell, like can't really taste shit.
Yeah. It's weird though. Like you don't
wouldn't
taste it at all.
You wouldn't know that. Yeah.
You don't taste it at all. You just plug it and just chug it. That's what she said. But that didn't make sense. But I just said it.
It seemed like it made sense.
Yeah.
Right? It seemed like it would fit.
Okay. Yeah. So anything else to add to that?
Nothing really that jumps out at me. I don't think. No.
All right, bet. So I can't remember if I announced last time, but I'm 100% training for our triathlon now. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm doing a triathlon as long as COVID doesn't fuck it up. October 25th. It's a triathlon in Venice. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've been working towards it. I did the Cooper test, which I don't think I had done at this point.
No, you didn't.
I think we talked about it. Right?
I think we mentioned it, yeah.
And you still haven't done yours, so I'm kind of upset about
it. I mean,
it.
I'm not competing anytime soon, so why bother?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You seem pretty jazzed about it. You're the one that told me.
I was when I was excited about training and competing in jiu-jitsu.
Sheesh. You hate to see it. But, so my number that I got, so I went to Liberty Park, and I did the Cooper test. If you're not familiar, I don't remember if we explained it last time, but it's just a 12-minute run, and you just try and get as much
mileage or distance.
Yeah, distance as possible in that 12 minutes, and it's done by meters mostly, as I can see on charts. And so I got 2,715 meters. So for my age and gender, I'm in the good range. I was shooting for that very good range, which was 2,800 meters. I was real upset I couldn't get it.
In my defense, I'm waiting for like an actual track to open up where it's like 4 laps is a mile, because I don't want to run on some like that Liberty Park where I'm gonna have to do like, the conversions on like a 7th, 8th, like 9/4 track or something.
Liberty Park. I was lucky because I got around and I finished literally the 9th lap, like as I was finishing. So it made the math easy. Yeah. Oh, it was easy. It wasn't that big of a deal, but
otherwise that'd be annoying to try to figure.
So yeah, the Liberty Park, it's a bitch because it's
not like a conventional track.
5 1/3 laps is a mile, which is like what the fuck.
Yeah, that's whack.
5 1/3, which normally is quarter laps. And I got 9. So that was so if you don't know meters, which you probably don't because you're probably American if you listen to this. I doubt we're hitting any British people with this, but that's 1.7 miles. I ran in 12 minutes, so I was pretty impressed by that.
Oh, did you explain it's VO2 max? Did you say?
I don't know, but yeah, it's a VO2 max test. Is the Cooper test. It's not the greatest. It's not like the one where you got the tubes and the mask and the ear.
That's a very convenient way to do it.
Yeah, it's like more of like a field test than like a lab test.
What's that called? A metabolic cart? Is that what
Yeah,
it's called?
the metabolic cart. And so the cart's a really nice one. We did that in XFiz. What it does is it measures the oxygen intake and then the CO2 expired out of your breath, and it can tell how much oxygen you're uptaking. Because VO2 max stands for maximal oxygen uptake. So how much oxygen that your lungs are pulling from the air that can then go and dissipate throughout your body through your blood or whatever, So when you're doing an endurance when you're an endurance athlete, VO2 max is extremely important to get as high as possible because then you can, work harder for longer,
sustain it,
and sustain it. So yeah, VO2 max, mine was looking pretty good. Excited about that. Do
you have a goal?
My goal is to get a 2 hour and 45 minute time for the.
Before that, are you going to be retesting on the Cooper, and do you have a goal for that?
Yes.
You want to get to?
Yeah, I'm gonna redo the Cooper, and I'm gonna shoot for like 2950 probably. 2950, maybe 3000. 2950. I think I can do that. An extra, 200 yards? A little over 200 yards more. I think, or meters.
How did you feel at the end of the test? What did you like? Did you give it all you got?
I sprinted the last 20 seconds to get that ninth lap, so I made the math easy. So and I wasn't really running that much. That was actually the first time that was the first time I ran in a month or so. So I was really feeling it in my legs.
Do you think your biking's going to carry over at all?
To the cycling?
Yeah.
Or to the running?
Yeah, your cycling, improvements toward the VO2 max?
100%. Because it doesn't matter what kind of cardiovascular activity you're doing, it's going to all improve your VO2 max. And it's going to make your run, your cycling is going to make your running better, but you also need to really take into consideration your movement efficiency. So you need to really get the technique down of the running. So really focusing on that. So my training has been one day a week. I'll ride down to the bay and I'll swim, and then ride back, and then the other day I'll ride just around, and then I'll come home, drop out my bike, and then run 1 mile to 2 miles. Just get used to running after cycling for a while. I'll cycle for an hour or so, and then just do a mile or two. And then my other big training day is my long cycling ride, where I just get used to just cycling for a while, for a couple hours. And then intermittently throughout there, I'll do kind of more just active recovery stuff, like light compound movements, upper body, lower body, do some unilateral, some myofascial release, mobility, stretching, just trying to stay mobile, especially my hips and my low back with all the cycling and all the running. Yeah. Don't want the hip flexors to get all tight and the low back to get tight. That would not be ideal. And it's going pretty good so far. So yeah, I'm gonna retest 2 months in, because I basically started a 4 months and a week out from the event. So I'm gonna test halfway through, see how I'm doing, see if I improved or not, and then hopefully I will. If not, I gotta change up the programming, and then I'll probably test. I don't even know if it's beneficial to test again right before. It's not much you can do at that point, and it might just fuck with my head if I'm not improving.
Yeah.
I just thought about that. I might just do it one more time, because I was thinking about doing it 2 more times. Because if I test 2-3 weeks out, at that point, there's nothing you can really even do to really kill it. Because
I mean, as long as you're programming smart, it should be improving. You know.
Yeah, it's 100% improved already. Like so much. Like my cardio. I mean, I've never had better cardio in my life. I've also probably never been skinnier.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but it's fine because I'm hella lean right now. I know. Once I get back into the weightlifting program or weightlifting programming, yeah, and just like I know I can do it in like 3-4 months. Just get right back into it. It's just kind of.
It's so demoralizing when you start back up.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough at first. I know you talked. I think you even talked about it on here. Yeah, you have the muscle fiber changes. You convert more to type 1s, and so then when you're trying to do more of that explosive lifting, it's tough. You got to convert back to the type 2s, and your central nervous system's not used to it either.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's not even just like the transition of fibers. It's also like the nervous system.
Yeah, it has to get used to that load because your CNS is used to repetitive light. Just repetitive light, motion, and then you're just like putting an extra much heavier load for say like 30 seconds, and your nervous system's like, what the fuck is going on, so it takes some time for that to happen, but that actually happens relatively quick. The part that takes longer is the hypertrophy. Your CNS adapts quicker than you are able to start growing muscle. So at least that's nice.
It just sucks.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. I've never gone this hard on the cardio, and then like trying to switch back. So I'm excited for it. But the nice thing about this is I have a goal and I have kind of just something to strive for. Because before that, I was really struggling with training and trying to stay consistent, and I didn't have any kind of routine. I was just kind of just whatever I felt like for the day. I was just doing it to get it done because I know I have to. And now I really look for. It's like a lot of what I think about, honestly, throughout the day.
I feel that.
And even the week, I plan my day around it. I look forward to it, and it's cool. It's fun. It's real fun. I've been taking those gels and trying to get used to taking those. Tastes like complete dog shit.
Chalky a little bit or what?
No, medicine-y.
Yeah.
Like syrupy medicine.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of texture.
Yeah.
And man, you just gotta slam it. It's in a little pouch thing, so you just it's like a toothpaste kind of thing almost. So you just take it from the bottom, just tilt your head and just slam it down, and just try and get as far back in your throat as possible, and just swallow it.
I had a couple of those too on during the marathon. Like there was a sponsor giving those ones out, and they had a little bit of caffeine in those ones. But I also had like that. Kind of like the chalky tablets to itself. Is that like a goo kind of, right?
Yeah, it's a gel.
Yeah, I had that too. Yeah, I was actually talking to Aaron was asking me some questions about that today. Actually,
oh really?
Because I was taking during when I was running and stuff.
Yeah, it's important because when you're doing really long sessions like that, your glycogen levels can really drop, and then it's hard to.
That's the wall.
Yeah, so like. What's interesting is I learned is like marathoners and whatever and runners call it hitting the wall, and then cyclists call it bonking.
Yeah, I've heard that term too.
Yeah. Where you like you run out of glycogen to make energy, and so then glycolysis, aerobic glycolysis slows down, and then your oxidative system just it can't make enough energy to sustain the level that you're at. And then depends on how bad it gets, but vision can kind of narrow in, get lightheaded. You're just not getting enough energy in your brain, essentially.
And then that shifts then to like the anaerobic system, right? Which then shuts down quickly, then that leads to you walking up. Is that how it happens?
Say again?
Because like the oxidative system is no longer functioning.
No, oxidative system is still going. It's the aerobic glycolysis, because there's no glycogen there. So glycolysis produces more energy, but then it can run out, obviously, because you can always run out of glycogen, right? You can only store, 400 grams of glycogen, and then like a few extra in your liver, but you have thousands and thousands of calories of adipose tissue on your body, right? That you use for the oxidative system. But oxidative oxidation is a very slow process. So it's
It's for low intensity.
Yeah, low intensity. But even low intensity, it's still not. I believe it's not enough energy because it's just too slow. So it supplements the aerobic glycolysis, but it can't sustain that just by itself.
You can't be dependent on it for performance.
Yeah. You'll never see an ultra marathon runner in ketosis. That's probably not going to happen. Yeah. You know what's interesting? Isn't it Zach Bitter, the one that's pretty much almost like carnivore diet?
I don't remember.
And it's one of those ultra endurance runners. I think it might be Zach Bitter. Sorry if I'm wrong, but he eats primarily like carnivore almost. Just a lot of, I think, ribeyes, T-bones, stuff like that.
That's because he would need like the carbohydrate though.
No, but the thing is, like, that's early in his programming. Once he increases the intensity and starts doing longer, he supplements carbohydrates in.
I think I remember that from the podcast.
Zach Bitter, right?
I'm almost positive. I think I do remember. Now that you mentioned that, like when his shifts, I do kind of remember that.
Yeah, he said it's not possible. You just need those simple sugars like the dextrose and the glucose and all those kind of things.
I remember because I was telling Aaron, like I had actually stopped taking like the gel, like the tablets or whatever, like around like mile like 18 or 20 because like I was kind of getting that I was fucking pushing it to that point. Like it was rough. Yeah. And I was just starting to I was trying to like lock in and just like mentally push through it. Yeah. And I was like, I can't take anything. I just gotta keep running. Like it's only so many more miles to go. So I stopped taking it. I feel like that was maybe part of the reason, like maybe why I locked up a little bit is because like I stopped.
Why did you mentally say like, oh, I can't keep eating?
Because it's kind of like it's kind of like a bit of a chore, I guess, or whatnot. Like I don't know. It's just
try and keep eating while you're running.
Like yeah, like I just didn't want to take anything anymore. I just wanted to I just wanted to put my head down and finish. Like I don't it's kind of hard to talk about how I was feeling now at that point. Yeah. Like when I was in it, I was like no, like I'd been taking it, so I was like no, like I don't want to fucking take it again now. Like I'm just gonna put my head down and push this out. I don't know if like that happened before or after my hamstrings went. But it was around that time, so like it's kind of next time.
Well, you're just like survival mode at that point.
Yeah, I honestly was.
You're not thinking extremely rationally.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning of the race, we were running it super smart. We were staying on top of it, like with that, and the pacing was super good. Yeah, and then towards the end, it started getting really rough.
You get tired. You're probably a little dehydrated. I mean, I think it's even like 2% of your total water volume. If you're like down 2% or whatever, cognitive function drops. So you're just a little dehydrated and just tired as fuck, and then your hamstring hurts, and you're like, you know what, fuck this food, even though it would help you.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting mental state. But I mean, I'm glad I did it. Like now, when I look back and thinking about it, like knowing like how I was feeling like during that last like 8 miles, I guess, whatnot. Mm-hmm. Like, and the fact that I was like, oh shit, like this could be like when I stopped. Did I come this far to stop? And like I was just like, fuck, I can't do it. And like my performance definitely was hindered, but like mentally, like I didn't give up when and that's what I ran the race for. So,
do you remember what your pace was? Your mile pace?
Yeah, so I needed below a 9:09 for the whole marathon to get sub 4. Yeah. And I averaged. I was above. We were ahead of that. We were hitting 8:50 and 9 for most of the marathon, and then my last few, the last quarter or last third of the marathon. I guess it was the last quarter maybe.
When you stopped eating.
Dropped off so significantly that at the end of the race, like my average mile for the marathon was 9:12, which is 3 seconds on per after.
So your average for the whole thing was 9:12.
9:12. Yeah, but.
So that'd be like 9.25.
But my my miles like 18 through or more like 19 maybe. Miles like 19 through like 26 or whatever were probably at like maybe 9:30 or something like that. Like they're significantly slower, whereas my earlier ones.
So we'll just take 9:12, which is basically like a quarter, right? And then your last like 8 miles or so, that's a little over an hour, like an hour and 10. Let's say roughly. And you weren't eating anything at all. So
I don't think I was from.
So for the whole last hour plus, you weren't eating anything. So your glycogen levels are probably so low.
Probably around like 18 or 19 was the last time like I took anything. So I remember my ham like from 20 on, like it was in the shitter, and then like 22 is when like my hamstrings went like gone. But like from 20 on, like I was fighting, and I knew I probably wasn't taking anything when I was like from 20 on when I was just struggling. And then as soon as like my hamstrings went, like it was like no shot. It was just like put my head down, figure it out, and just keep moving one foot in front of the other as quickly as I can.
Yeah, I mean when you get to that point, it's just like I'll figure it out. But
like literally, like I was fucked up at the end of the race. Like my mom and my uncle was trying to get me to go over to the fucking medical tent and whatnot because like I was like my left side of my body was like locked up like right here.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And like, I was kind of like shaking a little bit. Like I was like kind of cold and whatnot. And I was like, I'm fine. Like they were freaking out. I was like, no, I'm fine, whatnot. I ended up going over there just for their own peace of mind. So like, the doctor was like, oh yeah, you probably just kind of a little bit of shock.
Damn, you never told me that. That's crazy. It sounds like you're going into shock.
Yeah, he gave me a little.
Getting the chills.
Yeah, he gave me a little metal blanket, whatnot. He said, drink water, whatnot. Like it's people do that, you know. But I kind of wear that now, like to myself. Like that's a badge of honor because like I knew like when I wanted to stop and like I knew when my body said stop. Sure. I said fuck it. Like I'm just gonna. Like at some point that can be very dangerous to your health, you know.
It would be very dangerous.
Yeah, people. Like,
I mean, have you seen clips of like people at the end of marathons and literally falling over?
Yeah.
You could just easily fall down and just fucking crack your head on the.
So
concrete.
Part of my stupid ego mindset, whatever, is like I'm glad that like my body literally said like my hamstrings went. Like it said you can't run anymore. We're gonna have to walk from here on out. But I just said fuck it. Like whatever I can get, I'm gonna get. And I'm gonna just dig through. And I ran my body into shock. Like it's stupid, but like part of like
that's wild.
Part of like this whole fitness thing, like I kind of like that. You know, like this is where you can.
I like that too.
You know, so,
I like that too.
I mean, there's a part to be smart and whatnot, but like
that's your time to compete though.
Yeah,
that's where you're just.
That's like where the competitive side, you know.
That's where you just say fuck it. I'm just gonna get this stuff.
And as much as we like to be like educated or try to be educated and smart and whatnot, like I'm in fitness and like sport because I like that mental aspect.
That's what I like too, and that's what I've been missing out, and that's why I decided to do this triathlon. So.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
'cause that's the realest thing there is out there when you feel like you're fighting for or for something.
Dude. You know? I keep picturing it, dude. Like I don't want to sound cheesy, but like for real, what's that? Where you picture what's gonna happen? Sports psychology. It's not coming to me.
Imagery.
Not real. Imagery. There you go.
Yeah.
I've literally this like, I'm not even trying to do it on purpose. I just kind of catch myself just like zoning out and thinking about it, like completing it.
Oh, I do it. Yeah.
And
I do it all the time.
I just get super hyped about it. I can't wait to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's interesting? Yeah. Is I've been watching a lot of cycling on video or a lot of what did you say? Watching a lot of videos on cycling and triathlons and whatnot. And they said, number one thing when you're new to it is you got to be eating, especially cycling, because you can do it for a lot longer and kind of sustain that more so than running. And it's very common just to kind of just use all your energy, and then like I said, bonk, and you want to get used to eating. So I've been taking those gel packs, even though I probably don't really have to, just to kind of get in the habit of like on the bike, ripping it, fucking downing it, and just kind of get used to that.
So you're doing, was it a triathlon or was it an Ironman?
Triathlon,
and the Ironman's like the more distance, right?
It's like double.
So on those ones, do they have to actually like take food like more than like granola bar? Like do they eat granola bars and like small?
They eat all kinds of shit. They eat like peanut butter, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
fucking bananas.
They probably do more than just the gels.
Pickle juice.
They probably need a little bit more in it.
Pickle juice, yeah. The gels, lots of gels.
Yeah.
They're eating like constantly. Which seems weird, like you're like.
Cause you wouldn't like when you're exercising, but
it's just
necessary.
It's so Ironmans are so long. It's just like so if you don't know, a triathlon is almost a mile swim. It's like 0.93, and then it's 26-mile bike, and then it's a 10K at the end, which is 6.2 miles. So that's a good bit. And then I believe an Ironman is double that. So fuck that. But you're gonna be there for a minute, and so I think it's like a good triathlon time's like 3 hours, right? Like that's elite kind of.
I have no idea.
Or sorry, not triathlon, but marathon.
Oh, marathons, like if you can get like around like the 2 hour 15 minutes,
shit.
I think someone just broke like the 2 hour marathon like within the past like year.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
But, like 2 hours 15 minutes is like that's top end too.
Okay. So
anything under 3 too, like if I would think anything under 3 is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, 4 is pretty hard to get under too, like especially for my first marathon.
Yeah, no, that's I mean your first one is just like get it done.
Oh yeah, so I ended up getting like 4:01, 4 minutes 4 hours 1 minute,
Such
like
a bummer.
a couple seconds or something like that.
You just
yeah.
If you're just a little bit more experienced, like
Yeah.
you knew like, oh, I gotta eat this. Like I know I like don't want to, but I just need to eat this. Just to get myself going.
Let's see. Yeah, my official time was 4 hours 1 minute and 5 seconds. Yeah. So
if you just ate just a little something, keep it going.
Yeah.
Would have hit it, but that's all right.
I feel like that's kind of like I got what I deserved, I guess, in a sense that like because like my training wasn't on adequate and my whatnot. Like that goes to show that like really I could have done it. It was just a few of the little things and not training enough as well. But like it was reasonable enough to get under 4 hours, and I didn't plan accordingly. I didn't, I guess, in some sense, train accordingly and whatnot. Whether it was for injury and whatnot, but like it was attainable, and like part of me was like, fuck, I kind of want to do it again just to beat that. But I'm not interested in it like for the short term, that's for sure. So
you're just a little green to it. You know, you make little mistakes here and there.
It was definitely a good life experience, I guess you could say. For
sure. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to add to that. Anything?
No, I think that's good on that.
All right, cool. So, looking forward to the triathlon. It's cool. If you are listening to this and you swim, you're a good swimmer, hit me up because I need someone to swim with to kind of push me because I'll slack on the swim. I really need to focus on that because that's going to be the hardest part for me personally, I believe, even though I had experience with swim, but yeah, all right. We're already at 41 minutes. Let's go to the current events because these will take a minute. Yeah. We don't have to do that other stuff. We talked for a good minute here. So the first one is the 800-pound bench press. It was misloaded. Let me get the gentleman's name. I can't remember his name, but he already has the current bench world record. Julius Maddox. Gigantic ass dude. He already has the current bench raw bench press, which was like 740, I think, or 760, which is bananas. And then he wanted to break it again for whatever reason, and he was shot for 800 pounds. Now this powerlifting event, he's a powerlifter. This powerlifting event was on ESPN. I mean, mainstream is mainstream that I think that powerlifting's ever gotten. Yeah. Powerlifting is a very niche kind of sport. Yeah. It's not powerlifting and weightlifting is very niche. It's not like CrossFit. No. Or any kind of major regular sport, you know. So this is a big look for bench press for
bench pressing Olympics.
Yeah. For just
all bros rejoice. Bench press sport.
No, for powerlifting in general. And so he's going for the world record, 800 pounds, and they misload the fucking bar.
Like they didn't put enough weight on?
Yeah, they missed a whole 45-pound plate on one side.
How do they do that?
Right? Fucking bananas. He's going for a world record, and you're on ESPN, and you misload the bar. That's wild to me.
That's actually really crazy.
And so he ended up getting hurt slightly. I think he fucked up his pec, his shoulder, which you could tell as soon as he took it out of the rack, and then I think the guy he helped him get it out, and then as soon as he let go, one side dipped immediately, and it was everyone was like, what, huh? That's weird, and then everyone starts to realize oh, it's misloaded. And then everyone's fucking screaming how do you have this? So yeah, big fuck up.
How many people you would think people would be counting that, right? One, the lifter.
So
and then
who do you think? Who is it? The lifter at fault, or his team, or the people that are putting on the events, or the ref? Because there's always a ref there.
Well, I think it's
who?
I think it's on the lifter, his team, and the ref. The people who put it on, whatever. But when I left,
you think it's on the lifter?
I mean, he has a team there, but he should check it too. He's the one moving the weight. He should at least check it, and not just go assume, But it is on his team as well,
See, the thing,
I think it's shared responsibility.
I kind of agree, but also at an event, a powerlifting event, is usually the lifter isn't standing there right next to to like the event. They're usually in the back.
Yeah, they walk.
They walk up. They sniff their pneumonia or whatever, and then they're like, and they just go up and just do that shit.
That is true.
So I don't even think he was like standing there like
counting it out.
Counting.
Yeah,
it's not. True. It's not like when you're at the gym and you're just standing, kind of waiting around. You know.
Yeah, I have seen they do walk up.
Yeah.
Like they come out from the back.
They're not loading it.
Yeah, because they're doing the warm ups like with some other like equipment in the back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I don't think it's really on the lifter. I think it's either his team or the people that are putting on the event.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think
that's just such a fuck up. That's
bad. Yeah. And then ultimately the main guy that was putting it on, he like made a announcement saying like, we it was like a last minute thing I think to put on ESPN. And then they had all these. He was making excuses basically. He was just like, they were rushing us, and we got to get things going quick, and we weren't expecting it to go that fast.
I know, but that's the one thing is the weight on the bar that you got to manage. If you're doing something else,
especially for a world record.
Yeah, if something else in the production is like off with like cameras or lighting or this or that, then like
that's whatever. You know,
but, like it's literally like the weight on the bar.
Yeah,
you know, like that. Yeah, so
big fuck up. And then I heard. I don't know if this has been resolved, but I heard that he wasn't getting paid or he didn't get paid as much as he should be, or there was something going on with that. So that's lame. But shout out to him, Julius Maddox. I'm sure he'll come back and
hopefully
go for it again. So next one is quarantine. There's been a lack of gym equipment out there. It's been tough to find equipment.
I like how you're gonna segue this.
Yeah, and so. Being the resourceful people that they are, Louis Vuitton decided to make a designer dumbbell set, I guess is what you should call it. It's 3 kilograms each, so that's like a little bit more than 6 pounds, and the set is $2,860 to have Louis Vuitton dumbbells. Now, what do you think of that?
Well, I'm just one of those people who is anti-hype. Just in general, you know, like I have a buddy who bought like a wallet from I think it was Louis Vuitton or one of those whatever the Gucci whatnot
designer stuff.
Yeah, just cause he's like, oh yeah, I've been wanting whatever. It's like $400 or some shit. I'm like, dude, that's more money than you got in the wallet, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm just so anti that in general. Like, what's it gonna do for you? Is it gonna sing and dance?
Yeah, as Frank says, you cheat. So
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a few things like a few nice things that I pick out. Like the things that I like I don't mind spending on those. Like when it comes to like expensive jiu-jitsu instructionals. Yeah, I like books. I do spend money on books, or like a few items of like Lululemon that I use all the time. Like I'll spend money on stuff that like I'm gonna use and I really like. But like
sure.
Stuff like that, dude. Like that's just like one of those like like I have money. Like that's
a clout thing, right?
Yeah.
That's like some shit Kylie Jenner does, and then she buys them, and then like does like an Instagram
that's just something
story.
To show off, like, I can waste this much money on this because I have this so much. I'm worth this much that I can just waste money on this just because I can.
Yeah,
you know?
And the fact that they're 3 kilograms, that's just that upsets me.
That makes me even more.
It's not even usable.
Yeah.
Unless you're just some like fucking old lady doing step aerobics.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like dumbbells and like gym equipment. Like if you're buying a set of dumbbells, like they can be expensive, but they ain't no.
They could be I mean
they can be expensive, but they ain't no 2,800 whatever for a 3 kilogram set.
Yeah. So that's pretty wild.
So I'm anti shit like that, just in general.
Anti shit like that. I agree. Okay, that's it for that one. Next, Eddie Hall, big fan of the strongman. So he recently he wrote like a letter to the British Parliament or whatever, I don't even know, and he was like, he was just going off on them on keeping gyms closed because gyms are completely closed still in the UK. It might be different now, I'm not sure, but they're completely closed, and he was just going off on whoever's in charge over there, how fitness and lifting weights is his life. I mean, that's how he makes his money, right? And he's lucky enough to be in the position now where, he's a world's strongest man winner, and he's doing good in life, and he has a personal gym. But growing up, that's how he dealt with a lot of personal issues, depression, growing up poor, lifting weights. And I know it's a release for me. It's probably, for you too.
Yeah.
It's something to take your mind off things that are going on. and he was just talking about how you're fucking people. You're just like, so many people rely on this, and in some form of way, lifting weights is an antidepressant. It helps people, and he was just saying how, and we've talked about this too, is what do you deem essential and non-essential? Because he's like, there's pubs open, and you could drink yourself to being just blackout drunk, but you can't go and work out and be healthy and productive.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the issue with what's going on with the Rona. I don't get too deep into it, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I should probably not say that much because I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I think the gym should be open. If you don't want to go to the gym because you're scared, stay home, build a bridge, get over it, and just let everyone else who wants to continue on with their lives get back to their lives. So
I would echo that.
yeah, like if you're scared of the virus, okay, cool, stay home, you know. But I mean, the way we get through this is the virus has to go through herd immunity, you know.
Yep.
So
100%. And yeah, the deeming what's essential and non-essential. I don't know how alcohol is essential. It's very not essential.
Yeah, I know.
In my
Like liquor
opinion.
stores and whatnot are open and stuff like that. But
And off topic, but you can't go to AA meetings.
oh yeah, I saw that.
Have we talked about this?
No, but I think was it Joe Rogan talking about that?
Yeah, I think so actually. Yeah, I believe he was talking about it. But you can go to a liquor store, go to the weed store, and those are essential and those are important. But you can't gather for an AA meeting. Don't do that.
I think they're closing gun shops too, or something like that too.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like gun shops have kind of been restricted for a while. I remember my dad wanted to get one at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get in very easily, and then he gave up on it. So that's usually how that goes.
That's what they want you to. That's what they want to happen.
Exactly. That's probably why they did it. So shout out Eddie Hall. All right. Yeah, respect. All right. So I believe it was last week we talked about homeboy, that CEO of Greg Glassman. He said some controversial things. Whatever. We talked about it. He stepped down as CEO. But he's still owner of CrossFit, and he was just going to bring in a new CEO, the head of whatever, and so there wasn't any problems. And then this guy, homeboy Eric Rosa, he offered to purchase CrossFit for some ungodly amount of money, like billions of dollars, to buy it from him. Do you think that's important to save the brand and make sure CrossFit keeps on going, or do you think it's not that important? Do you think that Greg Glassman guy could still own CrossFit and it'd be okay?
Well, I don't remember like exactly what he said, but like, I'm just like in general, I'm just tired of like the whole like cancel culture and whatnot. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think like if he just sells it or not, like CrossFit's gonna go away. I mean, there might be some changes with it, but I mean, I don't know what his net worth is, whatnot, where he's at in life. But like if he's
Greg Glassman?
yeah,
or the other guy?
Yeah, Greg, whatever. Like I don't know like what his beliefs are on the whole matter, but if he is tired of being subject to the mob, then why not just take his pay and get off?
He's gonna make billions of dollars.
Yeah, he can just have.
Maybe not billions. I don't know really how it works.
I mean, I'm sure you could have that FU money, where you just go off into the sunset.
Basically, you can sell that and not have to worry about money for the rest of his life.
Unless like he really does love like CrossFit as his life, like that's part of. Like,
he doesn't look like he does.
He doesn't look like he does it himself.
No, I don't think he's like.
Well, maybe as like
passionate about it.
Maybe like as okay, maybe not. But like I'm just saying, like for a business, like it gets him up in the morning, like maybe like running CrossFit does. But if not, then just sell it, dude. Stop listening to like the mob,
Yeah, I'd agree. And then in that same kind of article that I read, it said that CrossFit makes $4 billion in annual revenue. So I don't know if that's exactly how much. I don't think that's how much like the top person's making, but I think because it's franchised.
Yeah, well, that's the revenue. That's not profit, right? That's just the revenue. So.
Yeah. So that's just how much money they're making.
I mean, that still seems like a good number.
Yeah.
But say, if they spend $5 billion a year? So then,
Yeah.
Although I'm sure they're not, but profits.
Yeah. I thought that was a large number. That was interesting. All right, and last one we'll do is just it's actually another world record bench press, but it's equipped. So if you don't know the difference between raw and equipped, raw is just just nothing on you. You just lay down,
No
press
belt,
it.
no.
Yeah,
What's
no.
that singlet? No singlet.
Yeah, so it's
No wraps.
it's a bench press suit. When you do equipped, it's like a tight ass wetsuit. You just like stuff in there, and
Well, it's not like a wetsuit. It's like a wrestling singlet, right? It's
yeah, I just said wetsuit because it's a singlet. I don't know. It's the same. Yeah, but it's just a plastically or not plastic, but like nylon stretchy kind of
Yeah,
material.
it kind of helps with the what's it called, right?
The elasticity.
Yeah.
And there's different plies. I remember like one of the West Side Barbell guys talking about it. There's different plies, and that just accounts for like different thicknesses and how many layers there are. So there's different plies. I don't know what ply this is, but anyways, it's equipped bench press world record, and this is so insane. He lifted 11,005 pounds, which is 501.2 kilograms, which is an important number because remember, Thor, Hathor Bjornsson, he deadlifted 105 or 501.
I was like 105.
Dude, I swear I'm dyslexic. I do that all the time.
Yeah,
500.
I was feeling dyslexic last night. Actually, I couldn't read guarantee off of the card. I was like guarantee.
Dude, I switch numbers constantly. It's so annoying. But 501 kilograms. He deadlifted that, and that's bananas because most of the time bench press is significantly less Jesus Christ, weight. It's usually like around half of that. You know, that you're benching compared to like your deadlift. And this guy, even though it's equipped, he pressed more than Hathor Bjornsson deadlifted. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that's insane.
And like it's weird because like
That's just some crazy shit.
I found this shit, but like it has like barely any views. Like no one's even really talking about it. It's just like
it's just like that whole niche thing. Yeah. People just don't appreciate it.
Equipped powerlifting, I guess, is just whatever. No one really cares about that much, I guess. But I thought that was pretty bananas. Okay, that's it for the current events. We're coming up on an hour. I don't know if you want anything to add.
No, not really, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we covered it all. We're good. So yeah, we're trying to get more consistent, trying to shoot for more like 2 weeks, but at least we got this one done and we're keeping it going. And that's all that matters. All that matters. Yep, that's it for the Performance Academy. Appreciate you guys listening to it. My name is Zach.
And I'm Josh.
And we'll see you guys. Peace.
Later.